All right, welcome back. Today, I'm back at home. This is a distraction for me and you. Today, title of this video is how it feels to be Filipino and not be able to speak the language. Um, I've got a couple things I want to show and tell that I'm going to talk about. 3 points. I'm eating a meat pie because I grew up in Brisbane, and for lunch, I'd smash like four of these mini pies, and it would be so gas. Another thing, I ran Manila Half Marathon, and they gave me this, which is such a beautiful, beautiful piece to get away. Filipino flag with the Filipino colors, red, blue, yellow. Wore it as a bandana after the event. And honestly, it's like been a really cool thing to kind of talk about and discuss. And yeah, I was gonna wear it, but I kind of look a bit weird. But anyway, I'm gonna leave this here. So yeah, talking about like how it feels to be Filipino and not be able to speak the language I'm learning. I always keep saying to my friends like I want to learn. I'm gonna wind this all the way back to the very start, which was so I grew up in Brisbane. I went to a pretty notorious private school, like all boy Christian private school. And it was awesome. Like my parents worked their asses off to get all their kids to good education. And they just worked so many jobs, so many hours to get us where we are today, which is such a beautiful thing. I grew up with like predominantly like Western friends. Two of my best friends, Bailey, B1, B2, and then my other best mate, Mitch, would always be like, we're like an Asian Oreo because it was like two Asians, two white guys, right? Um, Growing up, you don't really learn languages. Like you learn Chinese, like Mandarin, um, and at home, like my mum would speak Tagalog to me, but she'd I wish I was a bit more proactive in learning it. Because now that I'm a bit older, I'm like, damn, there's like this gap of like, like when I feel like I'm at family parties and my like aunties and uncles, like they all speak to me in Tagalog and I understand it. I'm like, damn, like I can understand it, but I can't converse back. Um, I guess the reason why I'm making this video is because like one of my values in life is curiosity. I really want to learn about my culture. It's a reason why I've gone back 4 times in the past 2 years. Going back again actually next week, which would be really cool with my good friend Lucas. Um, yeah, I think the gap that I want to talk about is like when I started going to the Philippines, my friends would be like, can you speak Tagalog? Like, naintindihan? And then like, I'm like, um, konte lang, and then my friends laughing when I like try to speak Tagalog, which is funny because like a Filipino is so funny. Like it's just like I have the most Australian accent, and I grew up around like tradies. When I worked my first job, it was like around tradies, and I adopted this accent. So when I go back to the Philippines, I try to put on like this American twang to sound like I fit in, But I think a lot of like I'm like blaming myself or my family for not teaching me. It's like obviously like the sacrifice they made to move to Australia for a better life and get away from move into kind of evolve into what's happening out of the Philippines. Like my mom was always like, you don't need to learn about it at home. Like you have it all here. And it took me a bit to like understand like why my parents didn't want me to like go back home. And then I did this video. Like my whole family went back to the Philippines, and I dedicated like the YouTube video. It was like this is like dedicated to going on more family holidays. And that just like blew my mind on how beautiful home was. Meeting people there, I met all the creators there. I met a lot of like the running creators, a lot of people in my realm. And like I got so many like these feelings from being in the Philippines. Like it's a surreal thing. Like if you're from Southeast Asia or like any Asian country or just like in general, like when you go back home and there's like that universal feeling of like this could have been me. Because usually I feel like if you're Filipino, you'll immigrate to like the U.S., Canada. Like I've got cousins in the U.S., cousins in the Philippines, cousins mainly in Australia, but you either immigrate to one of them, right? So I have this like whole dysphoria where I'm like, I could have lived in the Philippines. I could have been training on this track. I could have lived in America and had this whole Filipino American upbringing. But I want to dedicate a bit more of my life of like learning about Tagalog. So yeah, if you guys like have any resources of best ways I can like learn Tagalog, that'd be really cool. Like I've been learning the vowels, a e I o u, a e i o u, a ate, that means sister, arte, that means picky, which is me. Um, that's what I know so far. But yeah, going off that, I feel like the dedication and like I guess the turning part of me learning more about my roots is like all these little nuances and experiences I had in the Philippines that I want to share. I went to Philippines to run the Manila Half Marathon, and that was a beautiful experience. Don't get me wrong. It was crazy because like in my age group, I came first, which is crazy. Right? I ran a 1:34 half marathon, which is amazing. I was shocked. Like I was like, wow. Like if I did this in Melbourne, I would have come like 5,000th. I feel like, and it's a great time. But I think the experiences before the lead up was really really interesting. To be honest with you, like when I asked my friends in Australia, like, yo, like, what do you think? Like, how you feeling towards a marathon? They're like, man, I'm nervous. Like, I've been training like 8, 9 weeks for this, 8 months for this. Like, if I don't get sub 3, like, this is gonna be really hard. And in my head, I'm like, damn, like, we're really chasing times in Australia because it's easy to run here. I feel like in Philippines, it might be like a privilege to run because in Australia, like, we grow up doing sport. Um, like you're thrown in the water straight away so you can learn how to swim, right? I feel like it's a privilege to be able to have sport and be involved in sport at a really young age, like you can't run an 80-kilometer week in the middle of Philippines when it's really hot. Like there's a sign of privilege there, right? um, and I feel like I ask people like that question here, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in that trap too. I'm like, yo, like I'm here running this stuff too. Honestly, I have like these races I want to do sub 3. Like I'm going for sub 3 in Sydney, but it's like a numeric thing. Like if I get it, like I'm gonna get it. But it's also like, damn, I have to chase that, right? Everyone I asked in Philippines, I swear to God, everyone I asked, some pretty big influential names there. They'd just be like, so like it was the Manila Marathon, where you run down EDSA, and Manila Marathon starts at 11 p.m. Manila Half started at 3 a.m. Super rogue times. Um, Everyone, swear to God, they're just like, I'm so excited to run. Like, what a blessing it is to run. Like, are you excited? Like, how excited are you? There was like no sign of like worry. And I'm like, wow, like you go back to Filipino culture, right? Like, a big part of my documentary is talking about like takbo. Like I have it tattooed on my neck. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, I got like takbo tattooed on my neck, which means run in Tagalog. Um, and to be honest, like when you think of a Filipino, you think of like a singer, a nurse, a basketball player, a dancer, like Bruno Mars, Olivia Rodrigo, um, Jabberwockies. Oh my God, basketball players. Like it's Filipino pride is everywhere. Like Alexiella, like going crazy in the tennis recently. Like she's getting so many views on YouTube because she's Filipino. I love my culture, and it's such a cool thing. And the running aspect of it is that I want to highlight what it means to run as a Filipino. That's why I'm going back there and giving a bit more purpose and learning about my culture. But there's this divide where like I want to learn about it and like how can I be proactive about it. And it's like I guess the best way is to actually go there. Another thing I noticed in the Philippines, I'm always laughing, like always laughing. Like my stomach hurts, my cheeks hurt. Pause. Play. My stomach hurts, like just from laughing, and like they just don't take life serious there. Um, and yeah, I caught up with my other friend Daniela and Marky, like amazing people. Um, and yeah, they were like, we're in the club, and I was like, damn, like Philos are a bunch of yearners. We love yearning. Like if you're in a relationship or not in a relationship, like we love yearning, right? We're in the club. Everyone was singing like Somba, that Back to Friends song, like how can we go? And like all the Philos like in a circle, just like dancing. Another thing that like blew my mind was I went to the same club. It's called Yes Please in BGC in Manila, and like there was like a karaoke night. Like I'm known for going bringing people out to karaoke in Australia, but this is like an open mic karaoke joint. When I swear to God, they can sing like Bruno Mars IRL, and they're just normal people. I'm like, this is surreal. Like I was just in awe on how talented Filipino people are. Um, and yeah, I think what I want to talk about also like in the club is my friend Danielle was like, "Oh, have you heard the term like malambing?" And I was like, "Nah, like what does that mean?" And she was like, "It's you." And it basically means like affectionate and really like very very caring and affectionate. And I was like, "That's a nice word." Like I'm prone to hugging my friends like and just like I love that stuff. And when I was in the club, I was just like dancing with all these people I met. Um, but yeah, I think like how it feels for me to be Filipino and not be able to speak or like get by in the Philippines. Like I want to learn the language, and I feel like a lot of my followers are actually Filipino. So I think yeah, if there's ways that you could communicate and teach me, like when I get like go out and I like drink and stuff, I'm like trying to speak Tagalog to my Filipino friends. It's so funny. Um, but yeah, if you guys, I'm in Philippines next week, so yeah, if you guys have any tips on learning Tagalog or things I should do in the Philippines, it's gonna be predominantly like running, connecting back with my roots. Um, yeah, I just love it. I hope that kind of made sense. It's a nice day today. I'm very blessed, and yeah, salamat, ingat, salamat po. Let me just fire away all the Tagalog words I know. Jollibee, isa, dalawa, tatlo. I always forget four. Sinigang, adobo, pandizal, chicharon, banana ketchup. Alright, I'm going. Bye bye.